Hide, an impossible one, and we've got some more coming, but right now let's head into game. We are recreating, as they said, from draft. I'm wondering, do we see any differences here? I've got to assume no, they just have to go back through.
Oh no, it's the same bets, right?
Yeah,
was Zera Aura banned from?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. This is the exact same band so far. They are not insta-picking, though.
All right, there's Blissey. We had Duck and Intelligence. So it looks like we're just running through the same draft.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We just have to start the game up again, essentially.
Or it's possible that like the last picks will be changed, and that was when the issue happened. But
True.
But also possibly not. I mean, I thought these were two cool comps. They seem like thought-out comps, so I don't expect it to be too different. And it does look like it's the same. It may have been as well like an issue restarting, or issue like maybe in the like the final phase where they were like trying to switch items or something and they couldn't.
Very possible.
Could be. All right, well, chat, make sure to look alive. Leftovers or Rocky Helmet being an option is going to make sure.
Oh, that's different.
That is different.
Okay, so it's not Cinderace.
That's a little bit of a bummer, but also it's Garchomp, which is not a bummer.
Yeah.
Vitopo was having a problem locking in. It just looked like he was having trouble getting to his Pokemon. But.
Okay, well, Kata going to be on the Garchomp, which is a very, very popular pick from them. They've played that Pokemon a ton throughout the Asia Champions League. Vitopo, I think less games on the Metagross, for sure. But cool to see Zeta Division having multiple players willing to pick up that Pokemon. Two pseudo-legendaries.
Everybody look at the items. You can find the Rocky Helmet user.
Or Leftovers, slightly more popular one. I played on Psyduck. I'm a believer on Leftovers Psyduck.
I'm with you. Actually, I think Leftovers are a little underrated.
Yeah.
For a long time, Leftovers were not good, and the sign that someone's just coming from VGC, because we thought like, oh my gosh, this must be the best item in the game. Or someone, I put this on everything in VGC as I'm traveling.
Well, what was when you picked up Unite, what was the first item that you were like, oh, this has got to be good? Mine was Floatstone.
Oh, really?
Floatstone,
as well.
I put so many item answers into that.
Immediately.
That item. I was like, move speed and attack damage? This feels wild.
Just coming from VGC, being like, I found Leftovers in the trash can, I put it on my Infernape or whatever, and we just cruise through the game. It's sweeping everybody, and it's healing every round. I thought it was going to be perfect. Ready? Go! Here we are. Talon, your purple team. Zeta Division, your orange team.
Clapping for
We are still in the group phase here, but this match is essentially a single elimination as we're going to be moving through here today. The winner of this will be moving on to that single elim bracket. This is our final game from Group D.
And there's no interesting tiebreaker shenanigans or anything. It's just whoever wins this match makes it into the bracket. Whoever does not is eliminated from our event.
Early focus band pop right there. Mimikyu also secured, or at least the wild Pokemon was secured on the side of the Mimikyu. Able to get that as well.
Yeah, I guess that bottom one.
Wow, that is
massive
huge right there. They stole two from Garchomp. Another opportunity right here, looking for, they get it again. Wow, they're just absolutely dominating that top path. Winning every single contested piece of lane farm is incredibly important.
And they're winning bot side now too. Absol getting a nice big flank bot. The Metagross, as I say it, of course, immediely. Metang gets the shutdown. Why is Caster Curse not on our
Oh, I know.
That's the free part.
That should be the title of our broadcast. The Caster Curse.
That's a sketch idea.
Yeah.
Okay, keep that in mind for a segment.
That's a Pokemon Unite sketch idea, everybody.
Everybody keep that in mind in chat.
Yeah.
Chat, keep that in mind.
Hey, chat, keep that in mind.
Everybody.
Chat, take a note. Caster Curse. Give me an Ender note on this one, chat.
Stone tablet and a chisel, please.
Zeta
Tablet's
and
the wrong aspect ratio.
Teleon in the bottom path. We do have the evolution to stage 1.
And this top side looking so good for Talon right now, but of course Metagross can change all of that in a heartbeat. Healing just not. Alright,
Come on! I can't see the HP bar. I'm getting close to the screen here. It didn't exist. Remake the game.
Little spin.
Tiny little spin from Vitopo. Just so excited. That was the most adorable little spin from a Metang I've ever seen.
Metagross really is so important for this tournament. It's been, there may be no Pokemon that has done done better than my expectations more than Metagross.
Yeah, I mean, with that Clefable right beside it, that's such a huge playmaker.
Another Pokemon that I didn't think was going to do as well as it did, and Clefable's doing awesome this weekend.
Yeah. Oof. absorbing that damage. That Mega Evolution's so scary. They see them trying to trade off auto attacks for a minute, but rather just hide in the tall grass. When you're invisible, those auto attacks cannot target you. Able to hide for just a moment.
Getting ready for this fight at the 720 Verts. Nice telekinesis, bringing them in. Question is, do they decide to move in and fight? They do. They're looking for the KO. Not able to grab it there. Very close.
Headache.
Popping the passive is good, at least, right? But yeah, I mean, that's really the best you're going to be able to do. Unfortunately, wow, that slow roll just got melted.
Yeah.
Scary moment for Mewtwo-Y right there.
Scary
Almost getting
teleport.
caught. Yeah.
You almost went back into it. That's always worrisome. Okay, first Reggie is a Reggie Rock. So for those of you playing for 3 of the same Reggie, keep that one in mind.
Nice snipe shot. Easy secure for Zeta right there. They had that one in the bag. Nice side kick. Grabbing the Absol. Great siege on this bottom goal zone. We do have Mimikyu hanging out in the top path all by their lonesome. Going in with the Unite move here to pick up another one.
Wow.
Metagross
I didn't know
is
where the third Pokemon they scanned was, but I guess it was the Slowbro.
It had to be.
At range. That is wild. Good look. Also, Vidopo getting all these KOs has been massive because now Gukata had the chance to actually roam through Central area and just take all those wild Pokemon because Metagross is already at 9.
Oh my gosh, Mimikyu had to unite just to stay around, but goes down regardless. Zeta is absolutely farming them here in the bottom path.
Man, one good look from Talon on the top side, and all of a sudden Zeta Division just takes control of everything.
It almost feels like it's just Vitopa. I mean, like, their levels are fine. Not fine.
Rom's been hitting some shots,
That's
too.
true. That is absolutely true. That damage.
I got to say, the positioning there from Lance feels pretty chaotic to jump into the entirety of that group as they made their way to the bottom path. That was fun.
All right, Telekinesis is going to pull Metagross away. Surf going to give him a little minute. Slide Strike as well. Okay, all hands on deck, but it's enough to KO the Metagross.
Yeah, and with Metagross down, it looks like they're going to be able to kind of move through this a bit. Clefable Unite move, very nice. That combination with the Talon picks up the KO. 4 members of Talon
They're
fighting at this goal zone right here. The side strike onto Mewtwo-Y blocked there by the Clefable, and they're going to peel back. Nice plays from Zeta, able to only give up a little bit in that fight.
I can't believe they hung out as long as they did. I think Inteleon gets one knockout, gets a little ambitious with the Unite move. I mean, that could have got dangerous, but good amount of damage. I mean, not a terrible loss. Only one Pokemon KO. Did that Shadow Sneak land? That was remarkably close. I don't think it landed on the Inteleon.
You know, that entire situation, it seemed like Zeta Division was just running them over, but Talon ended up not behind almost at all, right?
Yeah.
Their levels are, well, they're just barely behind on levels. They're 30 points behind. Like, who cares? Like, that's definitely not a significant lead. And if they take this base of Reggie, then they're pretty much certainly even up.
Yeah.
Well, one thing to notice is while Talon, Zeta was winning in the bottom path, they were able to let Mimikyu essentially do whatever it wanted in the top path. Nice slow beam into a Unite move from Absol. Immediately, this Metagross is taken off the map right there. When Metagross is not able to hit any gyro balls because it's shut down, it doesn't have the sustain, obviously, that it needs. Now we have a nice score in the bottom path here, breaking that goal zone. 209, 185. Talon is up.
This has been one of the most even games that we've seen. The leads are just so tiny, and it's switching back and forth as well. I actually thought this was going to be a much more one-sided Zeta match when we went into it, but Talon is playing amazingly. The thing is, though, Zeta scales so well into this end game that it is going to be a very scary final 2 minutes.
Yeah, you can't draft out much of a better late game composition with Garchomp and Metagross. Like, that is terrifying as these seconds tick down.
Interestingly enough, we are one Reggie Rock away from already hitting our goal.
Hey, yo! I've been checking for heart sprays, did not see any being played in this game, so bummer there.
Any sprays?
Okay, ooh. Well, interesting. Garchomp getting, I mean, the targets that matter. Finds their way all the way to the Absol. Mimikyu is going to unite them, but that's already after the Unite was faded.
I saw the Metagross Unite just on a solo slow, bro.
Oh my gosh. What a fight.
It's huge. That's big. That's going to give them the ability to get that lead back just in time for kind of that final stretch farming. Wait, can we get the even exactly?
No.
We were either stacking or we were charging a Unite move or both.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point of the game, you have to imagine it's charging your Unite. Vidopo's been crushing it, so I'm assuming that we're full stacks.
Level 13 Metagross, going to be hard to pick up a KO on that. They're chasing down Clefable here. They're actually getting really aggressive as they move forward.
Oh.
Do they decide to move in? Yes, they do on the Garchomp. It goes down. Inteleon in a lot of trouble, caught by the Shadow Sneak. That's a double. Zeta caught once again. That's a triple for Talon.
Oh, what a shot there from Lance. Huge play on the Mimikyu.
And they're going to be able to get this space from Reggie. Oh,
Oh,
that's it.
Reggie Rock. We did it.
That's the second time it's happened in the first game.
That's
That's
insane.
unbelievable.
That's
The
massive.
odds of that are 10,052 to 1.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Just like pulling the Crown Rare Pokeball.
Okay.
Except for me.
Yeah.
I was told that I have a juiced account.
We're told this.
In my comments,
I think the second line was don't tell anybody about it, though.
snipe shots hit low
Psychic.
Oh, they go for it right away, moving in, but Metagross does not go down.
He's still.
Oh, that's a big
Garchomp
Metagross
kind of
Unite.
blocked out by that
Yeah.
Metagross Unite, but I don't think it'll matter too much.
They're decently
Mewtwo
low.
Y
Oh,
is
Mewtwo Y,
doing
yeah.
some damage.
If Mewtwo Y gets Metagross, that'd be huge.
Wow.
No, they're just not barely able to.
So close. Talon is in trouble right here.
Mimikyu
They have
Y.
Mimikyu and they've got Mewtwo Y. Mimikyu's
They
gonna
can
have to
Shadow
jump
Sneak
in.
steal this. They're not standing in the way or anything.
They have the body block.
No way!
Are you kidding me? Mimikyu weaves in and steals that Rayquaza.
They're going to need this Absol to help defend here. We have 5 members of Zeta. Absol hits. They hit with their move, but they're not able to use Unite move or anything. So 5 members still fighting, looking to
30-some
possibly
points from
score
Blissey.
here on this goal zone. 68 points scored by Blissey. They're going to push forward, though. 438. They are up. Blissey has a Ray Shield, though, as Mewtwo Y goes down, and they're fighting on this main goal zone.
Jeez, what a steal from Lance, but at the moment, it's just simply not enough. Blissey does still have a shield, so they're doing whatever they can to farm up points, I think, and dump them in, but another 76, bringing it within 100.
If Blissey can just find a few more points, they could make this happen.
How many points do they need at this point? Maybe like a pocket of 40?
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
give them a chance. That's a lot to ask for a support who's having a very tough time farming up points. Mewtwo Y takes the jump pad, and Teleon's going to have a free shot at scoring in the back line.
Oh, this could be the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Depending on what Intel scores right here, this could be it. 42. Yeah, it's just too close. Blissey's going to try to run, but they don't have enough points. Wow.
5 points. Yeah, but no other shields to work with. Talon, unfortunately, just not going to have the points in pocket. And with that,
I
that is
know.
a lose Ray, win
Win
game
game.
bingo board.
And crowd goes wild. We hit that.
Yeah, that's true.
Spreggles has a mustache. We got that one.
That was huge.
We're already getting pretty close.
Just coming up from shops and restaurants to see this massive stage with Pokemon Unite everywhere. It's very exciting.
I felt on our rehearsal day significantly underdressed because of all the business people coming in and out of this building, and now I think I feel severely overdressed in this situation.
It's true. No one here is wearing loud clothing.
Yeah, no
They all
glitter
look
to
nice,
the office.
But they're not super loud.
Yeah, no glitter to the office for the most part.
Well, that's their problem.
Yeah, true.
All right, Blissey first pick. Talon choosing to go first. You're gonna just go over all the Pokemon that we're not seeing, and yeah, we're getting a really similar draft here, and
Yes, we are.
I think it's relatively expected, right? When both teams felt like they could have won the game, and then both made they let go of a few different things. Okay, this is the big difference, and I think that's a great choice.
Okay, let's go. I love that change. We take the Metagross away from Zeta Division. It does have an interesting matchup into Garchomp. It's I think a fight that Metagross will win a lot of the time. So I imagine Kata's going to be going on to a different option, but they're going to save their pick until later. Vidopo going with the Absol.
So they stole that away from Talon.
Absol?
Obviously, it's something that was difficult for them to deal with. Now Talon having to decide their final 2 picks here.
I like Gengar into Psyduck Clefable. This feels like a pretty decent option.
Yeah, gravity could be annoying, but instead they decide to pivot back to this Mimikyu.
can't really go wrong with that pick. I think Lance had so many phenomenal secures and some amazing early game, so can't really take that away from them.
Very similar setup here.
Yeah.
For these two squads.
Yeah, I think Absol Metagross trade. Other than that, it's the exact same lineup, right?
Yep.
It does feel like if an Absol does well and skills well into the late game, it is one of the Pokemon that can hurt Metagross. But if the Metagross is like a little bit too far ahead, it doesn't seem like it can hurt it at all, which is a bit of a problem. But the LG game where they decided to use the Absol as like a Metagross counter kind of felt like a decent answer when I watched them use it that way. The problem is it's just not guaranteed.
Heavy defense Pokemon, ignoring defense with critical hits. It's tic-tac-toe sometimes. But yeah, speedsters always have that caveat. You really want to be ahead at any point in the match, otherwise it's feeling really difficult. Absol may be one of the safer picks in that regard, but what do we think is the hardest speedster to play from behind? Gengar probably, I guess.
Gengar's up there because it really does have to, it's either it gets a KO or it loses.
Yeah, level 9 is so tough.
Galarian Rapidash is hard to play when you're ahead.
Yeah. Galarian Rapidash hard to play in the practice mode.
Yeah.
I think Zoroark is pretty hard to play from behind.
I agree with you. Like a really under-leveled Zoroark is rough. It's
Yeah.
quite rough.
Because you go in and you
Talon
hit your whole
Absol
combo and it
feel
does
like the ones with
nothing.
options.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, so.
Darkrai not super easy when you're behind,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good
It's
point.
another one that needs to get KO'd. But at least it could take you into that nightmare.
We missed that one.
I said go.
That was on me.
All
So
right.
now we know they weren't clapping for us.
No, production
They were
crew is
clapping.
not clapping. That's fine.
They're clapping for their Zeta division.
It is unfortunate to see kind of that illusion broken, but okay.
Heart's
I'm gonna be
broken.
sad
That's what
the
day 2's all
entire
about.
show now.
It's true. Day 2 is about that. You know, it is the sad truth of a tournament like this is it's going to ruin everyone's day except for one squad. You know,
When you think about it in that way, it is kind of tough.
that's also the beautiful part of life, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to put a spin on it.
All right, well, last
Beautiful
time
thing to say.
this matchup went phenomenally for Talon in the early game, and I'm feeling pretty good. And a reminder, the Blissey Secure bingo board spot is for Rayquaza. We can't give it to that nice
We'll
little
see
one.
what I decide to do.
All right.
Why is it just Blissey? Why not support?
Yeah, why not, Zoink? Why'd you do that?
Why is everything a fight?
Look, I wondered the same thing. I don't know what it is with you two.
I like it on Blissey.
They were the Sync was the one playing Zen Headbutt, by the way, at
Yes.
Worlds, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the only move I have been playing. Magna Rise is solid, but geez, that headbutt is just simply so fun.
It's
I
so
can't put
fun.
it down.
I agree. It's crazy fun.
Yeah, the defense boost you get too, it feels really, really strong.
Yeah, that's its plus, right? Giving you that defense. That's really nice. Is it defense or is it straight damage reduction? I feel like it's damage reduction, right?
Oh, maybe it is. I thought it might have been special defense.
Which
Yeah,
I think is it's even better.
for sure.
Thank you.
Agreed. All right, we got
Get outta
Wajiro
here.
essentially just playing for information at any given point. If they get a chance at a blue buff, I'm sure they'll take it. But otherwise, that Moonlight Healing, they are not worried about any kind of danger from the other end.
We almost had support steals buff right
We
there.
did.
Very
yeah.
close.
Doesn't even need to be a support on that one. Just as long as a buff is stolen on an invade, we get to mark that spot.
Oh, well, that's going fast.
Dude, Wajiro has not left. I guess the team does not need support. They are here just making sure that timers are taken up.
Sometimes the most supportive thing
They
you
take
can
the
do
ball
is just
toy.
be annoying. I mean,
Crowd's popping off for a ball choice steal. That's awesome.
Look, it's zooming away. Ah! Oh, they're gonna pay for it. No, they're still the berries.
This is criminal activity.
so annoying. I love it so much.
Four
Four
members.
people.
4-on-1 and Wajiro finally falls.
Yes, King. Annoy them, King.
Boots the house down. Oh, big damage from Sync on the Metagross.
They got a little too annoyed. They got angry. They re-pushed back. They're like, no, stop it.
All right, so will be a Reggie Alecki focus for Talon overall. Slowbro going to hang out, just make sure this goal zone doesn't fall too early. But other than that, everybody else going to be taking down the Reggie Alecki as quickly as possible. Mimikyu and Blissey getting to work on that. Metagross going through a rotation that for once they will be alone on in their central area. And Mewtwo Y going to join the fight on the Reg Ice.
Kind of wild to me that we were only at the 7-minute mark of this match.
Yeah.
How much chaos was caused.
Yeah, with Watchero just hanging out. They do take the Reg Ice as well. A big snipe shot lines up with an Absol hit. Massive play from Zeta Division.
That is just so much damage. This is a pretty slow rotation, by the way, that they made down to this basement Reggie. I'm surprised that it took them quite so long. I felt like they could have maybe counter-rotated after they took that Reggie Lecky so quickly, but they managed to make it happen. Still, Talon's points lead pretty significant right now. Their level lead, even-ish. I guess it's not a lead. Just have 2 level 9s.
Oh, whoa, canceled out.
Oh!
And followed up the pretty sick snipe shot. Jeez, Zeta Division.
Rom is on another level.
Okay, well, he was aiming for the slow bro, don't worry about it.
Yeah, of course. Secondary target.
Well, sometimes you take these shots and, look, it's getting one of them.
Yeah, that's always the point, right? If you have 3 targets, you aim for the one in the middle. Okay, big damage, a few Unite moves. I love these play calls from Zeta Division. You know you have a Unite move advantage because you just saw them attempt it on the top side with that Metagross Unite. So
these snipe shots are just insane.
it's making Mewtwo Y's damage look like nothing.
Yeah.
Like Garchomp is able to walk it off. Honestly, Fable feels like an amazing answer to Mewtwo Y.
Fully, yes.
Like, who cares about your auto attack damage? I have the best anti-poke support in the game.
Yeah, Rom really having a game so far.
I guess it just forces them to stick by the Clefable, which is at least an advantage for you. But yeah, it just doesn't have that burst.
Moonlight, I mean, we're not at Moonlight Plus quite yet, but once we are, it's like, who cares? Like, the AoE is so gigantic. I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long run.
Duck gets caught out by a sneaky Mewtwo.
Definitely an argument for best Hollowware in the game on that side of suit.
Fight potential. Trying to just steal it away. Absol should be able to steal that, yeah, pretty easily. They have the Unite if they thought that was necessary as well. Now they can use it to try and take the...
Man, these snipe shots.
Yeah. You gotta ban Intelia against this team. It's just too much. Absol with 50 points. Leaving that goal zone on 1. Wajiro, 40 points. They don't even go down. They just got their Unite move. I think they splashed, but honestly, that's probably optimal.
Yeah, I think in that moment.
That's actually the best roll you could possibly get. Or was it blocked? Did they just block there?
It looks like they blocked it. Don't worry, I wasn't going to correct you.
All right.
Wow, I mean, Zeta's fights have looked so clean. Vitopo just coming in to rip through them, but it's Rom setting up these beautiful snipe shots. When you take away, half the HP of a target, it's perfect for something like Gokata or Vitopo to move in there to get these big targets. What? Get out of here.
Tomato? Oh my word, I didn't even know. Had to be an auto attack, I suppose.
No, it was psychic.
Psychic damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw as the explosion from Psychic, which of course, if you look at what Talon had for a secure, that they must be
Yeah, it's been a thread in that damage. Great work. Vitopo also playing it really safe around this slow bro, making sure that Scald's on cooldown before they jump in on this Absol.
Speaking of arguably best Hollowware of all time, that Slowbro's Hollowware is legendary.
We got some greatest hits, honestly, in this game.
Yeah.
The Absol one is one of my favorites.
Agreed, one of the best battle passes. Yeah.
Can you imagine going home and to do so, you climb on a mountain of gold? That's great.
Yeah, just poking, like you said, doesn't really matter all that much at this moment. And the problem is the other side has so much stronger poke. We also just haven't seen the Metagross be able to run away with things as much as Zeta did when they were using it. So everything is looking pretty tough, I think, for Talon. The level lead is huge for Zeta Division. 30 seconds left. The points are fine. I mean, at least you have a lead, but it just feels like this fight is going to be so difficult because we honestly, it almost feels like we haven't even seen the damage come out from the Garchomp yet either, right? It's been doing a little bit of its own thing. Like, it's been there, but it hasn't even been necessary. But if you were to get rid of the big 2 burst damage dealers that they've been kind of winning these fights with, you still have to deal with the Garchomp.
Right. Yeah. It feels like Talon hasn't been able to take a real honest fight this entire match yet. They've just been so far behind in terms of AEXP. They've been forced into this kind of farming metagame instead. They have not been able to play around objectives. You can see Zeta Division with 2 of them to their name with their Ice and Seal. So
they really need to hit a nice skull on that Absol.
On the wall.
Yeah, whoever, really.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Ow.
Half the slow bros HP.
Oh.
Oh, Duck down.
And they did hit their skull, by the way.
Huge weight. Okay, Talon.
Oh, Talon down. That's gigantic.
Yeah, Sync 1 lining up some really nice Metagross stuff. Wajiro is still up, so that means Akata is going to have a chance to keep making it. Wajiro walking away from that fight, ridiculous.
Wajiro has been invincible this game. Oh, I like that. Going for the back cap instead. They do have the damage to burn it down. Honestly, I'm really surprised Zeta Division just didn't burn it down. They have the secure as well.
Whoa. Away. Psyduck gaming at the moment.
Metagross barely surviving on that gyro ball who peeled out. Mimikyu in so much trouble, goes down. The snipe shots firing in, and now it could be Zeta's time to start ripping this.
Yeah, immediately.
You got here is great on their side, Absol and Inteleon. Here comes the Metagross, looking forward with gyro ball. No, it's Absol.
That was the problem, is there were so many threats on the side of Zeta Division that they took down a lot of them really well. That was an excellent team fight from Talon, but then it was like Absol's still just barely alive. The Garchomp's still barely alive, and Wajiro standing there, just full healing them all in a split second.
That Rayquaza shield boosted snipe shot left Mewtwo on 1 HP from full health. That was crazy. What a look.
Yeah.
Okay, Zeta Division. We talked about this is still one of the tournament favorites to win this entire event.
I
think.
fully agree.
I think it's Luminosity Gaming, FN Esports, and Zeta Division. They're still kind of the three big names. They're gonna take down Talon, send them home.
Yeah, this is about what we expected out of this matchup. Two really solid teams, but it does feel like Zeta is playing on another level here at this tournament.
I will say that Talon put up a great fight. They were at winning position both games that they lost. Certainly the closest 2-0 that we've had, which is a funny thing to say, but they were right there. Like one more skill shot hit could have turned around either game. So great stuff.